Welcome back to the deep dive. Put away your spreadsheets for a moment, because today we are taking a mental and financial vacation.
Straight to the jewel of the Andaman Sea, Phuket, Thailand.
But this isn't about the usual tourist spots. We are going deep. This is an intensive look into the world of truly jaw-dropping, high-end tropical real estate.
That's right. We're not just skimming the surface. We are unpacking a really in-depth insider analysis of Phuket's most spectacular villa locations.
And we're focusing specifically on properties chosen for their incredible, commanding views.
Oh, absolutely. If the property doesn't make you gasp, it didn't make our list.
And crucially, this deep dive is powered by some genuine market expertise. Our source material comes directly from Ocean Worldwide.
Right. They're a luxury real estate agency that's been on the ground, based in Phuket since 2004.
So 20 years of experience in this very specific market.
Exactly. That gives them unmatched insight. We're drawing on the knowledge of their director, Sandra O'Neill, who's helped, thousands of families and investors navigate this unique market.
So our mission today is to really extract those location secrets, the key investor insights, especially when it comes to those complex ownership structures that really define luxury property there.
Let's do it.
Okay, so let's unpack this and start where, the concentration of wealth meets the best sunsets, the iconic West Coast.
It's the anchor of the luxury market for sure.
I mean, who doesn't dream of waking up to an endless ocean panorama?
And we have to start in Kamala, specifically along what the locals call Millionaire's Mile. This area, it just sells drama and scale.
And the majestic 5-bedroom ocean view villa is a perfect example of that scale.
Right.
It's nestled way up on the hillside.
And the whole design is built around that view.
The description is almost cinematic. The defining feature is this massive infinity pool on an expansive deck that looks like the water is pouring right into the Andaman Sea.
It really does.
Yeah.
But what makes this location so attractive to, let's say, a long-term investor is the ownership model. This is a resale property, and it offers Thai freehold ownership.
Okay, let's stop right there. That's investment jargon.
It is.
So if I'm a foreign investor, what does Thai freehold actually mean for me versus some of the other structures we're going to see?
That's the key distinction. In Thailand, as a foreign individual, you cannot directly own land. It's just not possible.
Right.
So Thai freehold means the land and the property are owned outright, permanently, but, and this is the important part, this structure requires a Thai company to legally hold the title.
So you own the company that owns the land.
Exactly. For an investor, it offers the highest level of permanent ownership, intent, and control over the asset. It's why these properties on Millionaire's Mile maintain such high value and rental demand. It's the most robust route.
That distinction is crucial. Okay, moving slightly north, we hit Surin Beach. This seems to shift the focus from just sheer scale towards architectural elegance.
It does. Surin is ultra-luxury, defined by design. While Kamala gives you that jaw-dropping cliffside drama, Surin villas blend traditional Thai architecture. Lots of rich woods, tiered roofs with ultra-modern comforts.
But they still deliver those sweeping views from high above the beach.
Oh, absolutely. The view is non-negotiable.
It sounds like they prioritized aesthetics and flow.
Precisely. The key draw here is still that water feature, a really generous 16-meter infinity pool. And the layout is all open plan, designed to flow seamlessly from inside out to the deck.
To maximize those tropical breezes.
Right, and the sea vistas. It's luxury built to interact with the environment, not just dominate it.
Fascinating. So we've covered the dramatic, elevated panorama. Now let's talk about the complete opposite end of the spectrum. Villas that offer a true, tangible connection to the sand.
And that takes us just north of Phuket to Nha Thai Beach.
The private escape.
Nha Thai is the true private escape. It's quieter, much more exclusive, and it's known for the Baba beachfront villas. They have a very distinct beach chic vibe.
So here, luxury isn't about looking down on the ocean.
It's about stepping onto the beach.
So no more pools spilling over the edge illusions. The key feature is direct access to a private beach.
Undeniably. And these are substantial 5-bedroom villas with private courtyard gardens. The pools here are positioned to capture that unique, quiet, exclusive Nha Thai atmosphere.
So while Kamala sells the drama,
Nha Thai sells exclusivity and that immediate, tangible connection to the sand and water. They're both jaw-dropping, but the sensory experience is completely different.
that gives us great context. Okay, let's transition now to Kaita, which seems like a different kind of luxury hub, one that offers much more variety in view, size, and especially in ownership options.
Kaida is a real concentration point. It caters to every segment. You have true oceanfront estates, but you also have more, let's say, accessible hillside penthouses. It's the perfect place to illustrate the second major ownership type, leasehold.
Okay, so we're looking at an impressive oceanfront villa here. It's right on the water's edge, next to Katanoi Beach. It's got those classic sunset views from its private balcony and infinity pool. This sounds like prime real estate.
It is prime, and that's reflected in the price, 165 million Thai baht. And it's a resale property offered under leasehold ownership. Now, to put that figure in context for you, that's roughly $4.5 million US.
So for $4.5 million, I'm getting a prime location and the secure right to use the property.
Exactly.
So if Thai freehold involves that corporate structure for permanent ownership, what does the leasehold model get me for that price tag?
Leasehold is essentially a long-term rental contract. Typically, it's for 30 years, and it's often renewable.
Ah, okay.
It's attractive for international investors who might be prioritizing immediate high rental returns because the property is usually easier to acquire. It requires less complex structuring than a Thai freehold.
So for a holiday rental hotspot like Katanoi, it makes sense.
It works really well.
Hmm.
The investor's prioritizing high occupancy rates over outright permanent land ownership.
Right. It's about use and income. So if that's the big, sprawling leasehold option, let's look at the smaller, high-end option that gives buyers a third path.
And now we're talking about the hillside penthouses in Kata. These are generally smaller, think 3 bedrooms, perfect for families or small groups.
They still give you that panoramic view, though.
Of course. And a private dip pool. But here, you often see a different structure. Foreign freehold.
The third major ownership model. Okay, how is foreign freehold even possible if you said foreigners can't own land?
Good question. Foreign freehold is only possible with what are called strata title properties. So, condos or apartments within a registered building.
I see.
Thai law allows a building's collective ownership to be up to 49% foreign freehold. This grants the foreign buyer full ownership of their unit without having to set up a Thai company.
Which is a huge selling point for international buyers looking for simplicity.
A massive selling point. And that's why you see it so often in these luxury penthouses.
We also saw the Astor Villa mentioned in this area.
The Astor Villa is the most intimate option. Just 2 bedrooms, really built for couples or a very small group. It just proves that even in a bustling hub like Kata, you can find seclusion down a quiet lane.
So you still get the private pool and garden, but you're close to the action.
Balancing privacy and convenience. But the anchor, always, is the view.
Okay, let's pivot entirely. We've covered the vibrant, concentrated West Coast. Let's move east and south, where the luxury gets quieter, more sprawling.
And often more complex, logistically speaking. We're heading toward Cape Yamo. This area on the eastern tip of Phuket has a very different feel.
Right. You're trading those dramatic West Coast sunsets for these expansive, really tranquil views across Phang Bay.
And this area is defined by massive scale.
The scale is almost unbelievable. You have this imposing beachfront villa, a leasehold property. The standout feature is a truly gargantuan 35-meter L-shaped infinity pool.
You could host an Olympic event in that pool.
Pretty much.
It's designed for hosting and scale. And that's common in Cape Yamo. Look at another one, Villa Serenity, a 6-bedroom estate. It has a slightly smaller but still impressive 30-meter infinity pool.
But it also has specialized amenities. A plush poolside suite, a rooftop terrace for BBQs.
And its own private cinema and gym.
This sounds entirely self-contained, which makes sense because Cape Yamo is tranquil, which is another way of saying it's also pretty remote.
About 30 to 45 minutes from the airport, yeah?
So when you invest in a property this remote, this large, and this packed with amenities, that immediately raises the question of operational costs.
It absolutely does. When the property is this secluded and 6 bedrooms, huge pools, a private cinema, you are entirely reliant on a dedicated specialized staff.
You need permanent security, dedicated maintenance.
And specialized staff for running the cinema or the gym. The operational profile here is fundamentally different than a penthouse in Kata.
You almost need a logistics team just to run the house.
You do. That commitment to private transport and specialized local staffing has to be factored into the investment because those costs will eat into your net return.
But for the kind of buyer looking at this...
For that buyer profile, usually a high net worth individual seeking total seclusion, that staffing cost is viewed as a necessary feature, not a burden. They want the tranquility and scale without the hassle.
Makes sense. Okay, let's move to the southernmost tip, Cape Anwa, We have Villa Skyfall, high on a hill, offering secluded views, but it seems to be designed for maximum family fun.
Yes. Cape Anwa takes the seclusion of the East Coast, but adds a specific target buyer, the multi-generational family.
Villa Skyfall has 5 spacious CV bedrooms, a beautiful infinity pool.
And that pool is tiled with natural green stones, which gives it a very organic, unique feel.
But the really unique amenities are the play structures. They've added a dedicated football pitch and a trampoline in the garden.
Right alongside the private gym and sauna.
That really highlights how bespoke this market segment is.
It does. They recognize that a simple pool isn't enough for a family compound. They design a property that can entertain children, teenagers, and adults all at the same time, for weeks on end. It's a retreat, not just a residence.
So we've covered Kamala, Surin, Natai, Kata, Kikyamu, and Cape Panwa. Let's connect the dots. What unifies this level of luxury across the entire island?
I think what unifies them is the expectation of comprehensive amenities built for self-containment. Every property promises that private infinity pool and designer kitchen, of course.
But the real luxury is in the extras.
The extra features, the home cinemas, the private gyms, the saunas, because they support that desire for total privacy and a fully customized living experience.
And what about style? The design itself seems to serve a practical function.
Absolutely. The design ethos successfully blends modern luxury with traditional Thai elements, but the open plan layouts aren't just stylish, they're functional. They maximize natural breezes for cooling and ensure that view is integrated into every corner of the home.
The design works with the climate. And this entire analysis came from Ocean Worldwide. Let's just touch on the sophistication of their approach, especially in a market where the value of that view is paramount.
This is where their director of marketing, Gail Ovide-Etienne, comes in. He emphasizes using market analysis, even AI, to precisely value these properties.
Because the view is the core product.
The view is the core product. So they use data-driven sophistication to make sure they correctly price the premium you pay for a Kamala sunset versus a Cape Yamu sunrise. That level of insight is essential in this segment.
So what's the ultimate takeaway for you if you're dreaming of or maybe actively planning for an investment in Phuket?
The takeaway is complex, but it's clear. If a jaw-dropping view is your #1 priority, Phuket offers incredibly diverse options. But the decision requires balancing that view with the underlying structure.
You have to weigh the scale from a 2-bedroom penthouse to a 6-bedroom estate against the ownership structure you're comfortable with.
It's that balance. Are you comfortable with the complexity of Thai freehold in a prime location like Kamala? Or do you prefer the simplicity of a foreign freehold penthouse in Kata? Or maybe the long-term usage of a leasehold right on the beach?
That's the critical matrix, really. The view is the lure.
But the ownership structure and the long-term operational costs, especially for those huge secluded properties, are the true determinants of a successful investment.
What an incredible journey across Phuket's scenic coastlines. It really emphasizes the blend of natural beauty and just fully customized luxury you can find there.
It truly shows how bespoke the high-end Thai real estate market is.
And we spent a lot of time detailing the amenities of those huge estates in Cape Yamu and Cape Panwa. The 35-meter pools, the football pitches, which all require dedicated staffing and transport.
It's a huge operational footprint.
Exactly. So building on that, here's a final provocative thought for you to mull over. For an investor, which provides a greater long-term return, a slightly smaller, less amenity-heavy property in an established, service-rich hub like Kamala, or that massive, highly secluded estate in Cape Yamu, where you are responsible for building the entire bespoke operational ecosystem from scratch.
That's a fascinating investment question. You're trading built-in local infrastructure for ultimate privacy and control.
Something to consider when planning that dream property acquisition.
Definitely.
This entire deep dive was powered by the invaluable insights from the analysis provided by Ocean Worldwide, with their 2 decades of experience helping thousands of investors. For those of you considering property investment or seeking your own piece of Phuket paradise, we highly recommend checking out their detailed reports.
They really know their stuff.
Head directly to oceanwwp.com to learn more.